Hey travelers, it's Florin Nastasi, and today I'm in beautiful Cancun, Mexico. Today I'm going to be giving you my top 5 tips and tricks when visiting your all-inclusive resort. If you can't hear it behind me now, I'm at mine, and it is a perfect sunshiny day here in Mexico. So without any further ado, let's go on and jump into the list. The first piece of advice that I want to offer is when you're booking your all-inclusive resort, make sure you go ahead and book your transportation, not only to the resort, but also back to the airport after your time is up in Cancun. This will save you so much time and stress and headache if you go on and take care of that before you get to Mexico. Because if you don't do any of that, once you land in Cancun, you're going to be bombarded by what seems like millions of taxi drivers and private shuttles just to get to your resort, and it's just, you don't want to have to deal with that. So do yourself the favor, go on and book your accommodation to and from the resort before you get to Cancun. And what's nice about this is when you do book your transportation early, when you get into the departures hall when you land in Cancun, the only thing you're going to have to do is search for your driver that will either have a sign up with your name or the logo of the hotel that you're staying at. And usually your resort will send you an email before you land telling you this is what to look out for when you come into the departures hall. And that person will pick you up, take you to your resort. You don't have to worry about haggling with the taxi drivers or the shuttle drivers. All right, my friends, the second tip that I want to provide for you is when you get to your resort, typically first thing after you check in, you're going to receive one of these wristbands. The color is going to differentiate depending on where you booked from and what plan or option that you booked at the time. But regardless from any of that, the majority rule for all of the resorts is do not lose your band. Because what happens is if you lose your wristband, not only will you be charged, but somebody else who picks up your band will be able to use that and go into your resort essentially and be able to eat and drink and do all of that. So it's a very expensive and hefty fee if you lose that. So do not lose this. I have seen some replacement bands be almost upwards of $200. So it's critical that you keep up with it and don't cut it off. So the next tip I have, and I get into this debate with a lot of travelers, is bring some money for tips. And who are you tipping exactly? And I get a lot of people question me and they say, well, Florin, gratuity is already included in my contract. And while yes, that might be true, the way I see it is if you are getting really good service from a bartender, your room was kept immaculate condition by housekeeping, or maybe you had a resort employee that just made your trip just a little bit easier, I think they deserve at least a little bit of a tip. And the reason why I say that is, yes, gratuity might be included in your package, but the thing is, when the resorts split the money out, at that point it is so thin that it's pennies really to the employees. So bring some ones with you. I'm not telling you to tip $50 or $100 a drink, but if the bartender does a really good job, give them an extra buck or two. If housekeeping does a really good job, make sure to give them a few dollars at the end of the week for cleaning up your mess. It's definitely just a nice gesture and something that I think everybody should practice more of. So the next tip that I have for you is please do not drink the tap water. If you drink the tap water, you will probably get sick, and that's the last thing you want when you come down here. So just grab some bottles of water, brush your teeth with it, drink out of the bottled water. Most of the restaurants you go to on the resort will be happy to grab you some bottles of water. Now, when it comes to your frozen drinks with the ice frozen, don't worry about it. More times than not, that's usually filtered. But just if you're still concerned, just double check with your resort. So one of the last tips that I will give you today is just because you're going to an all-inclusive resort does not mean you have to all-inclusive resort yourself. And what I mean by that is, yes, you have unlimited alcohol and food, but you don't have to eat and drink everything at once. If you do, you're going to feel really sick. And if you eat a lot and drink a lot at the same time or early in the morning, that might ruin your afternoon or evening plans because you're going to be in the bathroom throwing up, or you're going to be in bed because your stomach hurts. So just space everything out. The food's still going to be there if you want more. Same with the alcohol. And with that being said, I really do hope you enjoy your trip to Cancun. It's such a fun place to visit. And this is going to be just the first part of another video I'm going to do for tips down here. So make sure to stay tuned for that. If you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I will get back to you as soon as I can. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.